You're listening to the Board Game Snobs podcast, a ridiculous podcast with ridiculous hosts that discuss ridiculous things. And any mention of board games is purely coincidental. And so, without further ado, and with a heavy dollop of shame and embarrassment on my part, I give you the Board Game Snobs.
And this is the continuation of a previous podcast that was entitled our Top 25. We are continuing on with number 20 through 16.
Oh, well, numbers work.
That's typically how they work.
Backwards.
Is it backwards or forwards?
If you're counting down like rocket ships launching into space.
Here's a question.
Or
is a countdown going backwards?
Count down. Yeah, from higher numbers, you're going down.
But is it that backwards?
Yes.
So you associate going down with going backwards.
A count down from higher numbers.
Technically, wouldn't it be going forward?
No, forward would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a progression.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. If you're in third place and you're going to first place, are you going backwards or are you going forwards?
Well, your car's going forwards into first place.
The numbers are going forwards.
Positioning, you want lower numbers.
Positioning, you want lower numbers?
Yeah.
Okay, so you would be going forward.
You want the number one position.
But you're going forward.
You're going forward, but backwards on the numerical scale.
So in your mind, it goes
backward is forwards.
To right, forwards, but going down is backwards.
Yes.
I don't associate going down or up as going forward or backwards.
You would list them.
They're like on a different plane. Does that make sense? It's kind of like the same thing. Like if someone says the meeting's on Monday, but we're moving it up 2 days, what day would it be?
Moving it up 2 days, business days?
I just said moving it up 2 days.
Well, then it's going to be Saturday.
Moving it up?
Yes.
See, that's how nobody would think of it that way. You're moving it up.
If you're moving the meeting up, everyone knows it's going to be sooner than it was.
Interesting.
Is it?
Interesting. All right. Anyways, I don't know why we're having this conversation.
I don't know either. Real quick, though.
You get it done.
Did you know plants can grow inside a living person's body?
Mm-hmm. I do.
How did you know that?
I've read something about that because there have been people who had found like various bacteria, mushrooms, or some sort of fungi in their lungs.
This ain't fungus. This is a plant.
And there's actually been, there's been some.
In 2 separate cases, plants took, okay, here comes a question for you. Root or root?
You know, that's a good question because I always say root when I say that second one again, root.
Root or root?
Rut?
R-O-O-T.
That's root. Rut is with a U.
Okay.
That's R-U-T. That's a different thing. If you're in rut, if a deer is in rut, or you've gone through a rut.
Right.
No rut. That's 2 separate things. Root is root. It's taking root.
Root. Boot.
I've never heard of someone saying taking it rut.
Poof.
Root.
But.
Rut. Yeah, I don't know why. I'd say you're the first person I've ever heard say that.
Okay. Plants took root inside people's bodies and caused excruciating pain. In each instance, doctors were convinced the patient had cancer. Ron Sweden, a 75-year-old Massachusetts man, had been experiencing cancer-like symptoms and eventually was rushed to the hospital. When doctors x-rayed him, they were shocked to uncover a half-inch pea plant growing inside his lung. How?
Like 2 peas in a pod?
We don't know. That doesn't.
What part of his body?
His lung.
I said lung.
The moistest of the parts.
Right.
Artyom Sidorkin, a 28-year-old Russian man, underwent surgery to remove what doctors thought was a cancerous tumor. Instead, they found a baby fir tree measuring almost 2 inches growing inside his lung. So don't eat seeds and swallow them into your lungs. Is what you should not do.
Into your lungs.
You could accidentally. How'd they get in there?
You can't swallow them into your lungs.
How did they get in there then?
You suck them in.
Where does it go down? Your throat.
No, it goes down. It does go down your oral pharyngeal airway, but it doesn't go into your. Those are two separate things.
Right.
Yeah, you don't swallow into your lungs.
When you breathe in air, you swallow into your lungs.
No, you don't.
What are you telling me? When you breathe in, you don't swallow into your lungs?
You don't swallow. Swallow is going into your stomach. There's two holes back there.
Where?
There.
In my trachea?
Yes.
My throat.
You have your esophagus going down. Oh my Lord, you don't know this. You're going into your stomach, and then you have the other one going into your lungs.
I know where babies come from.
Right? So you intubate somebody.
Huh.
You don't you put the tube into their lungs, not into their stomach.
Mm.
If you do that, you blow up their stomach and they die.
That would be terrible.
Yes.
Has that happened before? I'm sure it has.
I've seen that happen numerous times.
Oh my God. Anyway, so when you're a kid.
I don't mean blow up.
Oh.
I mean you think you're putting air into their lungs, but you're just airing up their stomach.
Oh.
And they die because they don't have any oxygen.
Not like the stomach tissue
I've realized that phrasing made it sound like pop.
Yeah.
No, but you can. I have seen somebody's lungs blow up, like as in they just popped and collapsed while they're ventilating. God. Yeah.
Then you have to do a quick lung transplant.
They died.
Oh, good Lord.
Quickly.
No room for error on that one.
No room for error. Oh, morbid. Go ahead.
So when I was a child.
Oh, my God.
I used to be...
Go ahead.
I wondered where babies came from. Just I was always told, my brother would make jokes about, don't swallow that apple seed or don't swallow that watermelon seed. Hypothetically, if I accidentally inhaled it, apparently lungs, the most fertile of soil of the human tissue, could grow something.
Sounds like.
What if I just make a lung garden? I start harvesting lungs from people, seeing what various plants could grow in them.
They do that. You can donate your body to science, and they do have
lung farms.
They do, where they decompose bodies. It's how they train not only cadaver dogs, but it's also how they do for
cadaver dog.
We do the state medical examiners. How you find a body, they test decomposition in a garden. There's also places now, I think, in certain more areas where they have relaxed the laws, where your body is buried is meant to be decomposed for like a tree or something like that nature. There's some sort of weird hippie type.
Going back to nature.
Cemetery type thing. Instead of just your traditional, put them in a box.
From dust you came to dust you return.
Yeah.
That's what the good book says. What book is that? Ender's Game.
I was wondering where you was going for it. I was like, Ender's Game.
So anyway, I found that terrifying.
That's not terrifying at all.
It scares me. I will not eat seeds anymore.
To two people.
I've been eating seeds for sunflower seed. Be careful.
They'll just suck them into your lungs.
What if you cough?
You would cough them out. You cough them out.
Yeah, but you can inhale them as well.
Yes, but then you would get pneumonia.
Yeah. You might also grow a sunflower in your belly.
That's highly unlikely.
In your lung.
Most of it would be so acidotic.
The most fertile of human tissue.
I think that's super rare. I've seen a lot of people suck stuff down in their lungs and then end up being just aspirin.
Like what?
Food. It's a chronic thing. It's like kills a lot. That's where a lot of your aspiration pneumonia comes from. It's like old people feed them. They suck down food in their lungs, they get pneumonia and die. Very typical people. They have trouble swallowing. This is very morbid. This is a top 25 list, and for some reason,
a joyful list.
I don't know why you've decided. This is a joyful list.
It is a joyful list.
My list is great. I don't know what your list. Your list probably sucks, but my list is good.
Our lists are probably shared DNA.
Okay, let's see. You
go first this time.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Switch it up.
Oh, my number 20 is Zaya, Legends of a Drift System. My favorite
roll die
box game.
Flyer ships around space, blow each other up, and explore stuff.
Trade, negotiate, a little bit of everything. It's just a little bit of everything.
It is.
And I really like it. It's out of print, and I feel sorry putting it on a list because it's going to be hard for some people to get it. But there are other games that keep coming out that are trying to be Zaya. I've not found one that has been Zaya. They all want to be it. Nobody can seem to get it.
That's like Tom Holland and Zendaya going together. Tom Zaya.
That would be if she was with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict and okay.
Zaya.
So what we need Zaya and Zendaya to do
And Tom needs to hook up
Is
with
break up with Tom. Start dating Benjamin. Then we have Benziah. Although her name's not Zaya. It's Zendaya. It's it's an acronym of her own name.
I know this is you've heard my hot take on this. Are you baiting me into this hot take?
A great actress of our time.
You are trying to bait me into this about how I don't like Zendaya.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't think she's a great actress.
How dare
You've heard me talk about how I don't like her.
From Euphoria to Dune, she plays basically the same character. I don't know. I've never seen Euphoria. I know she's a drug addict and sad. Unless she's on the drugs, then she might be happy.
She's in Dune with all the spice and she's sad.
She's always on drugs and
somebody on drugs and sad?
Spider-Man?
Sure. Drug of choices.
MJ, but not the MJ from the comics. They
alternate MJ.
Subversive and MJ. That was dumb. Just make her a different character. She's not the MJ.
Oh, she's not? I haven't watched any of the Tom Holland.
Yeah, they're good. I enjoy them. I don't mind her. She's fine. Like Bubba thought the trip to New Orleans was.
When you say fine, like I don't see Bubba's. But here's the thing: Bubba's thing of fine. If Bubba says something's fine, I know it's good. When you say something fine, I know it's mediocre.
It's fine.
No, it's mediocre. When you mean fine, that's what you mean by it.
It's quite. Unless I say quite, then that means exceptionally fine,
which means it's better.
Yes.
But fine means it's mediocre to you.
Fine, yes.
Okay, so let's just get that straight. Because Bubba means fine, it's good. Your fines are not. So I'm thinking like Ray Fiennes.
He is fine. No, he's fine.
Fine.
It depends on the inflection of your tone of your voice.
Ray Fiennes or is this fine?
Ray Fiennes is fine.
I don't like Ray Fiennes.
My number 20 is Synergy. Not the game, but in relation to yours. Can you guess?
I don't know.
A more earthbound game, but also sandbox.
Oh, Western Legends.
Western Legends.
Oh.
I have a blast every time we play Western Legends. I often go visit the ladies in the buildings.
Building ladies? The construction workers? The female construction workers?
But to visit the ladies, you first must have money.
That's one does.
So first I go collect some money from the mine.
You pretty much, this game is you traveling from the burlesque club back and forth to the mine and just going, okay, I'm going over here. And everybody can rob you on the way is what scratched me up.
It's literally what I do the whole game.
The most pointless. It's snakes and ladders. It's basically all you're playing.
Oh, but in between there's gunfights.
Mm-hmm.
This game is a good time. It's for a good time called Western Legends.
Okay. That's Colossal Games. There's been another Kickstarter out. This game's readily available.
So since Benziah is not available, Tokyo Drift, go get Western Legends.
Western Legends. This is my alternative.
It's not as good. It is.
It's much more accessible. It's much quicker.
I will, spoiler alert, Zaya's higher up on my list.
Ooh.
I like Western Legends a lot. Western Legends is more silly fun. Like you can be crazy in it. And Zaya is a little more thought involved.
It is. Keeping with your synergy, mine is along the same lines of your Western Legends, as you like to go for gold.
Oh, West.
You must go West for gold. West. That recently had another edition, the J. Alex Cavern game. We have the TMG version, which we have praised for many of years, and now has gotten a reprint as it so deserves. It is a quintessential Moncala. I keep saying Moncala. I'm pretty sure.
It is?
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's
worker placement.
It's not worker placement. It's more. Well, yeah, okay, we'll give you that. You're using these resources to place a little tent. Your tent placement.
Sorry,
I speak in past tense, but
you're so intense.
I am, and I think this is J. Alex Cavern's best game. Ignore the rest, except if you happen to find a copy of Sentient. Either way, this game stays on my list. It is a Euro of fine. It's really. You remember when you ever watch Andy Griffith show? He said, "That's fine." He always, "That's real fine."
So his fine was a different fine.
Yes, that's
than mine
that dawned
or
on.
Bubba's.
Yes, his was like it's really fine. That's not fine.
Okay.
That's like the Ray fine. I think what's better, Andy Griffith? That's fine, Barney. That's fine. Or Ray Fiennes. What's his higher? What's his better?
Ray Fiennes.
Ray Fiennes. So it goes Ray Fiennes.
Ray Fiennes.
Then there's Andy Griffith. Fine, it's fine. Then there's Bubba Fine, and then there's your mediocre fine.
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
Gold West. Not that I do honorable mentions, but if I were, it would have been number 31.
All right.
That was your number 20.
That was my number 19.
That was your number 19. Your number 20 was Zaya. My number 19 is Ra Ra Sis Boom Ba.
All right.
Raw. Reiner game. Classic.
Oh, Reiner showing up again.
He needs no introduction.
Oh, Reiner.
And everybody knows what Raw is. If you don't, well, just go look it up. It's a bidding game.
That's a great review. Tell me about this game. It's like how Rodney. Oh, I get it, Rodney. Rodney.
Rodney.
If you want to know the rules of this game, just look them up for yourself. This ain't Rodney.
Everybody knows.
That would be a great.
Rodney does a Raw video.
That would be a great parody.
Not Raw, like R-A-W.
Raw videos by Rodney.
No editing involved.
Have that. Here's my thought.
This is a Rodney
so
video.
Have a Rodney, which is Rodney, but basically just, like the Star Trek where they had the goatee and it's evil Rodney.
Mm-hmm.
Except this guy doesn't have a goatee. So, of course, he's the evil Rodney, and he tells you the rules wrong.
That'd be wrong to me.
Either way, Raw is you've made solid choices. I agree with these choices and approve most of them. My number 18 is my favorite of the Langs, Eric Lang.
Oh.
A game for which I've praised for quite some time because I'm not a huge Eric Lang fan. This game was obviously a throwaway game that I guess he just put out.
Of his designs, you don't know him personally.
I don't know because I think this is like he never talks about this game. Nobody talks about this game, but Godfather to me is
Devil Mother, some might say.
Yes. I love Godfather. I played Godfather here recently again and again and again and again. I think to myself, I don't know why people don't praise this game more. It was the first game that the Secret Cabal.
The number first.
Yeah, it's a secret game, Secret Cabal that they did on their channel when they come out. They was like, oh, Godfather. Oh, we love Eric Lang. And everybody just talks about Blood Rage and other stuff.
I don't know. I love Godfather as well. I don't know why Blood Rage won over it. People love that theme more.
It's Vikings.
Vikings are all the rage.
They are.
They go berserk for Viking games.
Your puns are awful.
And
I'm sorry. Awfully funny.
Well, thank you. I find them quite fine.
This is making this is going to make it into our top 10 list of funny things that we've said on our podcast this year. We're going to do a compilation of all the funny. Here's what we're going.
How do you view? I thought this was funny. It's just all clips of things I've said. Oh,
we're going to do a top 10 list of all the things we had to cut out. We'll just put all the stuff that you had to edit out into a.
That'll be the last episode.
Air. All right, go right ahead.
But I was just going to say, back to the Godfather.
Corleone. It would be the same thing over and over. It would just be, you got to be kidding me. And Gordon. It'd be the same thing over and over. Number 10. You got to be kidding me. Oh, my boy Rondell.
Hey,
every year we should do that.
Corleone's Empire. I think people don't like it, which is stupid because Blood Rage is an all-out attack game. You're just battling each other.
Yeah.
But Godfather is very take that. You're literally like just fighting each other for portions of the city, whatever city that is. New York? I don't know. Where's the Godfather happen?
Oakland.
Italy?
No, it's New York.
The city of Italy?
Yeah.
And you just play cards. Sidily. They missed an opportunity there.
This sounds really. It's a terrible sentence. We built this Italy. We built this city on. Give me a second. I can't think of oh, why that's funny. Oh,
but it's yeah. You play cards, blow
on
each other up.
rigatonian rolls.
You put each other in the river,
Oh.
and it's just so fun. You tuck away money into your briefcase.
Why that's funny. I know why that's funny. I played this game with a Schwerin with Bruce.
The Bruce.
I love Bruce.
The Bruce.
There's another one. And I remember explaining this game to somebody that you had to put, it doesn't score if it's not in the briefcase.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept emphasizing that, it felt like. And then all of a sudden,
That's key.
about halfway through the game, you're like, okay, well, what? What's with this briefcase? And I'm like, oh, okay. You're number 18.
Number 18.
I'm sorry. Oh,
Crescent City Cargo.
I looked at that.
Previously, my number 9. It's dropped just simply because we haven't played in a while.
Listen,
there is recency bias on some of these, but it's still in my top 25.
if Jason Dinger would release the third of the Arcadian trilogy,
I don't know if he's in the process. I hope
he's in the process. I've heard rumors. I stalked him on
the
Facebook.
reason that I will say Captains of the Gulf is not on my list anymore is because we literally played it at one time and have not been able to get back to it. Crescent City Cargo, Captains of the Gulf had something in it that was hard for me to grok.
It had crabs. Crabs, and I know your stance on crabs.
I'm anti-crab.
You're anti-crabs.
And it just...
I have the little pinchers.
But I remember liking it a lot, but it still wasn't as simple for me to understand and get back to as Crescent City Cargo. Crescent City Cargo is such a simple game. An excellent game.
Yeah.
Not related to eggs in any way.
If it was,
fish eggs, maybe.
Jason needs to get off.
And we were in the Crescent City.
Going Crescent City
we
Cargo.
saw zero cargo.
I saw cargo.
Pants, shorts. I wore some.
That's what I meant.
That's what
I meant. You
Crescent
stole
City
my
cargo
joke.
shirt.
You stole my joke. I literally was trying to swallow, and you're like, "Oh, cargo pant." You made a very poor version of the joke I was about to make.
Oh,
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry. It wouldn't have been as fluid if you make it.
Yeah,
Go.
no, you've ruined the timing of it. I was like, I saw a lot of cargo, and I was going to do finger guns. Pants.
Okay.
That would have hit hard.
Well, yeah, you were more prepared.
I have notes.
You have notes for jokes?
Yeah, I do.
Whenever he mentions cargo,
Hit him with the
finger guns.
Finger guns, pants.
Sure.
That's what I have. Cargo plus pants equals finger guns. I got this figured out. I'm a pro here.
Jason Dinger, all he needs is one more game.
Oh, dinger.
And we could put him on our list, our Mount Rushmore.
If that third game is a dinger, it's yeah.
Dinger is a home run.
Hitting dingers. All right, number 17.
But
Not
you
to bring
didn't
up.
know that. You just heard it before.
No, I've heard that. I know about hitting dingers.
You're not a baseball guy.
I'm not a baseball
You hate
guy.
baseball.
I hate baseball, but I know about baseball. Number 7, not to bring up the past, but take a guess.
Anachrony.
Thank you. Anachrony.
Man.
Oh, man, that's a complicated game. And every time I play it, it's overwhelming a little bit.
You know what?
But then quickly I fall into the rhythm of, man, I like the fact that the different workers do different things and you're slotting them into the minis, and then you have to refresh your workers, and then sometimes you just force them to work, and then you can go back into the path. It's waning on me a little bit. It's going down, I think, on my list.
Bruce waning.
But at the end of the day, when the mask comes off, it's still a solid game.
We played it last time with the... Is that? I don't think that's it.
The expansion Fractures of Time.
Is that the one?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
different.
And it was good. It was really good. It's so much. There's so many things and bits and bobs
one
on
of
the
the
table.
few games I think needs an insert. Of
And, and I
organizing.
purchased one.
Yeah.
And now that I've got all put away, I'm like, I would have to relearn the whole thing again.
Well, that's with every game you play, though.
That's true.
So that's not a
But
point.
it is, the amount of things in that game is overwhelming.
It's not that much, though. It's not. If you
I remember the first time we played it, we squeezed it onto the little tiny table we had, and I was like, my
the
God, there's a
table
lot of
presence,
stuff in this game.
it is more intimidating than what it is. But anyways, number 17, Anachrony, still a game that I think everybody should play at least once.
I concur.
Next.
It's a great game. It's got a good solo. Number 17.
I do love a good solo.
Rurik
17 is Rurik
Dawn of Kiev.
Or Kiev.
Kiev. Hi, Kiev.
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 My cousin, my uncle's name was Kiev.
How's
Keith.
it spelled?
Keith.
Kiev.
Kiev.
What's up, Kiev?
They've also changed Turkey to Turkiya or
Turkey.
Turkey. Because that's the more.
Is Kiev? What is Kiev? It's still Kiev, isn't it?
I thought it was Kiev.
Even though it's barely there. Did they change the name of it
Pretty
for
sure
real?
it's Kiev. I think perhaps Ukrainians pronounce it Kiev, and that's why
Kiev.
they were like, "Oh, we need to start pronouncing it the way like Warsaw is Warsaw."
Oh, makes sense. Warsaw.
Warsaw.
And if it was Warsaw, they'd be Warsaw because they reverse those letters. V's are W's and W's are V's.
I think, yeah. So the way we spell it. Anyways, long story short,
Dirk Nowitzki.
Rurik has another Kickstarter coming out with the sequel to it, which is hot right now, I think.
Rurik, we've discussed. Listen to our previous episodes.
Rurik.
It's a area control game with this fantastic bidding mechanism.
One of the very innovative, like they were advertising at the time, like a new mechanic.
And
it is kind of newish.
And it'll break your brain. And this is
it has minis to paint.
We have so many games to get back to. It's been a while since I played this one, but every time I think about it, I'm like, this is such a solid.
And I have the expansion that you've never played. that I'm in the process of painting to.
You have a lot of game. You also have Soul Train's friend Brian's minis.
If he'd ever email me, I'd send them to him.
And also you have the real-time game that I love so much.
That's a great game.
That is a bunch of aliens attacking.
Yeah, Project Elite.
You have those you're painting as well.
Yeah, but I'm painting a lot.
I hope so. Because you've had it for like 3 years now.
Yeah, I'm painting all the time.
Well, where is it?
It's in my house. Doesn't mean it's not done. It could be done.
What are you, when you say you're painting, like your fence? Or the
paint. Man, when you paint, speaking of which,
just out there painting random stuff.
This is a sidebar to our New Orleans trip. I realize that I'm not a jealous person, but I am a jealous person. Did you see the minis Betsy with her little ear? That makes me angry. Okay, that makes me really
green with envy.
Really, no, not envy.
Oh,
I am angry,
mad
because
you're mad about it.
The fact that somebody who she's just, first off, she's got all her paint organized. She's got her little paint sprayer.
I think she's just a very organized person.
But then the what she's churning out though is high quality stuff. And I know that if I would pay more attention and just concentrate more and work on here's what gets me. I know that I've peaked as a painter. I don't think I'll get any better. I've got a trimmer in my hand. It's not my thing.
Just take it 1% at a time.
Well, I do it 1%, but at some point in time, you're just there. And I think I'm there. And I'm mediocre at best.
You're maxed out.
But
you're fine.
I am fine as a painter.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me very angry when I see somebody else who is probably not somebody who paints constantly, that just doesn't we need something to paint. I paint it, and they paint at a level that is way beyond me. I'm not saying that seeing Betsy's art, her minis upset me, but they very much did.
But you already have.
I did say that, and I'm lying. I'm trying to retcon what I said. It made me angry that she's that good.
You retcon a lot.
Listen, I don't retcon. I just don't believe what I said previously. I
wonder if when he changed his lines in Gone with the Wind, if they called it a retcon. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a quarter.
Is that what they said? Hey, did they change that?
Rhett Butler changed that line.
Is that where it came from?
I don't know. I made that up. His name's Rhett Butler in the movie.
I'm sure all of our listeners over the age of 50 really appreciated that.
Everyone should know who Rhett Butler is.
Old people. honey, Margaret, come in here.
Take out your hearing aids. Listen to this one. No, wait, put your hearing aids in.
Gaby's talking about what we watched on the Turner Classic Movies the other night.
Oh,
between that,
how many other Rhetts do you know? I know Thomas Rhett.
I just talked about Andy Griffith and his. That's fine.
I know.
We're trying to appeal to a more octogenarian crowd. You can go ahead with your number 16.
Well, they say okay, but I meant to mention another Daniel Hines Bond. He's been on fire with posting stuff. He posted this video that was like just the other day. Board games growing in popularity, and they interview this professor,
air quotes,
with AirPods in his ears as his microphone, aka Mike DeLizio.
I don't like it.
The sound is not good. The quality's not good.
It looks weird coming out of your ears. I'm just saying what we're all thinking. I'm saying what we're all thinking. Yeah.
And anyway, so this guy's like, oh, he's talking about games and their growing popularity in the pandemic, and people want to interact with something that's real, and the digital world can be altered. And, he made some interesting points. But they talked about how board gaming is growing in popularity. And my question was not that I doubt that. My question was, I wonder what metrics they use to gauge that. Because you can't go just by sales. Because board gamers, the more they get into it, the more they buy per capita.
Mm-hmm.
So the more people, like each of us has 100 games apiece. So sales, that's not gauged properly. Is growing in popularity with me? I've bought more games. How do they know that it's actually growing in popularity among a group of people and spreading out, as opposed to a small group of people just being ravenous about it?
The convention attendance.
That's the one I was thinking of. And I was like, well, BGG, it's kind of been the same size in the past
few
8 years that we've been going.
No, they expanded. They moved it a few years back.
What's the big one? Gen Con?
Yeah. But that's not all board games. But you go by conventions and also just traffic to websites, things of that nature. But then they may not be referring to popularity in terms of people, but in popularity in terms of money spent.
Maybe so.
So either way, you go on with your number 16, because my number 16 was Rurik.
Well, then we just had an old switcheroo. Because my number 16.
I got that on my joke list too. It's like if we happen to match on Rurik, do the whole Rurik, switch a Rurik.
My number 16.
Switch a Rurik. That's the key to Rurik.
That was a good one. We'll put that in our top 10.
All right.
Right after you kidding me.
This list is fire.
My number 16 was your number 17.
Nice. Which was?
Anachrony.
Have to go back in the past. An anachronism.
And on my 2022, it was my number 17.
Which is a great and RPG game back in the old days.
Which one?
Anachronism.
Oh, yeah.
It was an old school one that was like, had a heart-wrenching story. I think it used like the old Unreal Engine or the what was the other game? The Quake engine, I think. It was like one of the first RPG type games I played, and it was like a turn-based 3D thing, and it devastated me. It absolutely devastated me because of the characters. I got way too in love with
How did that affect you emotionally?
It affected me emotionally because the main character is this grizzled detective who's incredibly funny, and his secretary is dead. But she's alive because he needed her so much. He had her consciousness transferred into a drone, which follows him around, and still she's dead, but she's not dead.
She's still taking notes.
Right.
She's still dictating.
Yeah. And there's something about that seems very like it was like in the Blade Runner movie where the chick wasn't real, the hologram thing. And it's like, she's not a hologram. She's not real, but it's still devastating when Anna de Armas
Anna de Ferris?
Anna de Armas.
I know.
No, don't
Anna de Ferris wheel. I know Anna de Armas.
Don't joke about it. I don't even know what joke you're trying to make.
Some people don't like to joke. They don't even like her removed from the previews of movies. They will sue you.
Who sued what? Huh? She got sued on something? What happened?
Yes. No, she did not get sued.
Who sued what?
They portrayed her in that movie Yesterday in the commercials.
Oh.
Where the Beatles no longer exist.
Uh-huh. And she wasn't in it?
She wasn't she was in the trailer, not in the movie.
Oh.
These two men sued because they wanted to see her in the movie.
I would sue too.
They called false advertising.
I would too, because Anna de Armas is it. She's Cuban, by the way.
I believe they lost.
Cuban, one of my favorite
Cuban pushers.
One of my favorite sandwiches.
And
that
game
would be
styles.
that's a great game. Cuban pushers. Where you're
Just go around shoving Fidel out of the way.
Moving your little workers. That's
Infidel.
Cuba Libre.
Out Fidel.
Human pushers. This is a racist game that you've invented, Gaby. And the only reason you can say that
shoving them
is because you're from you're from that hemisphere. I cannot. I'm from the Caucasus. All I know, that odds at Teutonica is all I can say. Okay.
Blitzkrieg.
Listen. I should have never have told you that about my grandfather. I'll tell you one story about my grandfather who possibly was in the Wehrmacht, and now all of a sudden you're like, oh.
Well, is he in Venezuela by any chance?
No, he's dead.
Oh, well. Never mind. I will not dig any further.
Thank you. I would like to have a podcast.
All right. Well, that's been our number 20 to 15.
Nice.
We're going to have to edit out all these coughs and
don't edit them.
Gags.
They love them. They love them. That's the tree in your lungs.
We're reaching our phlegmatic conclusion.
Getting choked up here.
Getting choked up. All right. So thank you for listening yet again. Thank you for bearing with us.
Send us an email at boardgamesnobs. No, don't thank them yet. Oh. Send an email, boardgamesnobs@gmail.com. We're doing our top 25. If you have your top whatever, you can send that too. We might read it at some point in time.
And join our Discord. Touch all the links.
Just
touch them. Reach out,
touch the links.
Touch the links.
I like that. That's a good one. You know, say like and subscribe. Touch the links.
Touch the links.
You see that bell? Touch it. Touch it. Touch it.
And you know what? We have a Patreon.
Touch it too.
If you enjoy what if you enjoy what you're hearing right now,
reach out. Touch us.
Reach out and touch that Patreon.
What was it we used to say that people get in touch with us? They reached out.
Yeah, I don't like that phrase.
Reach out and touch it.
I don't like
touch that Patreon. No, really, don't do the Patreon. We don't need your money. No, actually, we do need your money because we're going to Dice Tower Retreat. Please.
I don't want to fly Spirit again.
Listen, if y'all don't up your Patreon money, we're going to have to fly Spirit to the very exclusive Dice Tower Retreat so we can hobnob with the rest of the board gaming aristocrats.
Yes.
If you people do not help us get to where we need to be so that we can get the connections that we need to further our board gaming soiree, then Gaby's gonna have to fly Spirit and not get any peanuts or a drink. I love Spirit. They bankrupt. Fun fact.
And you can't even take a carry-on. It has to be smaller.
It has to be a personal item.
And we had to hide ours.
I know. Did you like that?
No.
Was that stressful? Not thrilling?
It's stressful.
We got on Spirit thrice. We have snuck on to Spirit Airlines.
With my 18 by 12 backpack.
It was more than 19 inches. I can tell you that.
No, it was.
And it was. Yours was like 50-something pounds.
I got it's basically like a, what would you call it? It's like military style backpack that can hold all stuff.
I looked at you and said, take your jacket off. Put it over your backpack like I had. I had my nice black jacket over my black backpack.
Mm-hmm.
Way too heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make eye contact, but say something really nice to the person who's coming. Distracted them. Walked on through. Spirit Airlines, I've got you. I got your number. Twice. I have taken a carry-on without paying for it.
I could handle not having to deal with Victor again.
Victor? Hey, you know what they say what the best revenge is bettering yourself. When we fly the Dice Tower Retreat in September, when you see Victor, you're going to have a glow up.
I want to have a big picture of me covering the terminal.
Yeah.
I want to smash through it. Look at me now.
Yeah.
You're like, who are you?
Who are you?
What? You know what you did.
Sir, can you sit in can you sit in my exit row? Can you have my
That's
back?
A terrible accent, by the way.
I don't know what his accent was. His accent was insane.
I think it was French.
You said it was French. It wasn't French. It was Russian. But then when you said it was French, it sounded French. I don't know. Victor, we need to know.
Victor.
All right. Conclude it.
We're done.
Thank you for listening. This is the Board Game Style Podcast.
We love you.
And we respect you.
Which is more important? Love or respect?
If you have love, then you respect them.
You can respect somebody without loving them.
But like I said, if you have love, then you would respect somebody. Right?
I don't know. The heart can be treacherous.
No.
I love you.
But the love doesn't
The
come from...
things you're doing is real stupid.
Love is principled.
I know. But also can be emotional.
It can be, but principled love, there would be respect, right?
All right. We were supposed to end this. We said done.
This is done. I'm just talking. This is the post-podcast. This is after hours.
Done. What was the guy? D-U-N-N. Done. Can we use that in a sentence? Kicking bird Tatanka. His name was Dunn.
Oh, was it? Oh, that's right. He was Lieutenant Dunn.
Lieutenant Dunn. Lieutenant Dunn.
Anyways, we're done.
We're done.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for tolerating this episode of the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.